think technically I said
Hi
that,
guys, and
but I was
welcome.
really just being shitty about it.
Yeah, welcome everyone to Variant Rules for our weekly game of Forbidden Lands in the Sundered Realms, a custom setting. Can someone just check the audio's working for me? That would be really helpful. Be really freaking helpful.
I can hear you, Ben.
Yeah. You can hear
I went
me?
to
Good.
whoop then, but I realised that's not what you meant.
Can you hear everyone else?
Nathan, can you hear me?
Yeah, good, awesome. Today we're playing the Sundered Realms, which is a Forbidden Lands custom setting, specifically just for us, for me and my friends here.
Friends. It's a safe space.
Oh, I need to know, when are we playing Cones with Friends?
When I have time is basically the answer.
That was meant to be this week.
It's
Yeah.
The next gaming stream is definitely Cones with Friends, but it's whenever I can find.
Oh, I thought this was going to be replaced with Cones with Friends.
Okay.
No, it's the gaming stream that's replaced.
I thought we were going to play Cones with Friends as our characters, and that was going to be the session.
Nope, you're all gonna die. So
Sundered Realms.
I will introduce you to the cast now. So we will start today with the wonderful, the excellent, the enigmatic Tempest TT Games. Please introduce yourself to the people at home, and also let us know, are you a cat or a dog person? It's the first one of the interesting questions on this list.
Hi, I am Morgan, aka Tempest, and my pronouns are they and them. I stream here on Twitch as Tempest TT Games with 3 T's in the middle. I'm also the same on Twitter and Instagram, but my Instagram's really lame because I don't know how to use it. Because I'm old.
You take a picture and you upload it to Instagram. That's how that works.
Yeah. I mean, I got that part down. Anyway, my answer to the question, as my answer is to most questions, I will not choose. I like them both. I will have them both. I refuse to play your game, your divisive game.
Wow.
You know who would say that? A fucking rat person.
I am also a rat person, by the way.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's a cute.
Right, we will now jump down to
I love rats.
the wonderful, everyone's favourite member of the stream, the most uninformed role-playing gamer you've ever seen in your gosh darn life, the uninformed RPG. Please introduce yourself to the people, and also tell us, if you were a fish, man, like what type of fish would you be?
Hello everyone, I'm Jordan, also known as Uninformed RPG on YouTube and on Twitter at Uninformed RPG. I make YouTube videos about tips and advice for playing and running TTRPGs, basically, from my point of view, which is not very deep, but you know what? I'm sharing my opinion anyway, because why not? If I was a fish person, what kind of fish would I be?
Not if you're a fish person, if you were just a fish, like.
I heard
You're
that.
not
I
a
heard
merman.
the specific wording I heard was fish person.
You said fish person.
You did say fish person.
Well, then, if you were a merman, what would you want your bottom half to be, I guess, is this question. That's what a fishman is, right?
Is there a difference between the different? Are there different like races of mermen? People?
For the question,
They're not real,
yes.
so.
For the question,
For what?
yes.
For the question, yes. Right then, I've decided I would be a great white shark merman
A great white shark merman.
because it is the best fish.
Mate, I bloody think you'd be a bloody clownfish merman because you're such a bloody joker. That was awful. I apologise to everyone watching. We will move on to the wonderful Mod King 09, the most pigtailed member of this stream. And we will ask them, is there a specific animal you're afraid of? And if so, why?
Animal.
Animal. I
Animal.
can speak.
Animal.
I'm
Why
Modking09.
not?
You can find me over on Twitter at ModKing09. It's pretty much where I'm active. Watch that space for some hopeful news within the next 2 weeks on a Steam page. Add it to your wish list when it goes up, and that is a threat. And what animal am I most afraid of? I used to have a huge fear of snakes, but I don't feel like that's as bad anymore.
Yeah, I feel like if you say snakes, you've really got no legs to stand on.
Snakes with legs, there you go. That's the animal I'm afraid of. Snakes
Fuck.
with legs.
So like reptiles then. That's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
that's like a gecko. Instinct with like.
You really slithered in with that one, didn't you, Ben?
Whoa!
Tarantula Hawks. Scared of Tarantula Hawks because they're scary as balls.
I thought that was a pun, and my brain was like, "What?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Awesome. Finally, we move on to the only member of this stream currently consuming ice cream. The man, the myth, the legend, the knight, I guess. Sir Nade, please introduce yourself to all of the people at home and tell us, sir, if you had your human body but the head of an animal, what animal would you pick?
I'm Nade, also Sir Nade. You can find me on the internet. I would see. That's a tricky one. The head of any animal.
Any animal.
Human head, right?
Oh, fuck off. You can't choose a human. Fuck right off.
We broke the game.
Yes.
Yes,
that was the
that
perfect
is how
answer,
you win.
Nathan.
Right.
So Nade used confusion.
Fucking
It was super effective.
Jesus Christ. Right, so welcome everyone to our role-playing game show called The Sundered Realms. It is set on the fractured planet of Barras after a giant magical mishap has splintered and shredded the planet into individual floating islands called the fragments. These fragments are literally chained together with all the transmuted metal from the world that was before, surrounding the whole planet, keeping the oxygen, the air, and the life on Barras alive. Is the Maelstrom, a giant barrier constructed of all of the magical energies of, again, the world before. You can see that in the background. That's the red thunderstorm behind us. People who can channel that are known as warlocks, and there are magic users. The most powerful of these are sovereigns, who basically act like tin pot dictators of their tiny parts of the fragment. Our heroes are playing people just trying to survive, but they found their goals are kind of aligned in a way where they want to go fight a lich pirate named Cinnabar, who may or may not be raising dragons from the dead, or may not even still be alive. They are joined by the wonderful Claret Moore, pirate extraordinaire, generally just loose cannon, and they're currently in the city of Barcoon, which is like this three-tiered trading kind of outpost, where the Jabari, which is one of our races on Barras, are being hunted. So I will let the people now introduce their characters and also a little bit about the kin they're playing, which is kind of like race in this game. We'll go counter the way we just went. So we will start with Nathan. Can you introduce us to Hoddle Ironheart, please, and also a bit about the dwarfs?
I just ran out of ice cream, so big sad. I am playing Hoddle Ironheart. He's a old grumpy dwarf who is haggard by time and the sands. He has only one goal left in the remaining years of his life, and that is to once again find some metal. It's been a long time since he last saw or did any metal working. So all the metal's been used for the chains. That's all he wants. Simple. Is a simple guy,
Very cool. Very nice. Anything? Do you want to just explain the dwarves in the setting?
Yeah. So I think probably the most important thing about the dwarves in this setting is that they are they're quite scarce. They've basically been hunted down a little, kind of hunted down, hired, acquired. They were well sought after, essentially, as they were the only people with the skills to actually do any metal working. So any metal that does exist in the world still is very expensive, and only dwarves know how to use it, making them a very reliable resource in themselves. So there's not many of us left. We are scarred people. We used to essentially put metal into our skin as runes to empower ourselves, and when the sundering happened, all that metal was ripped from our bodies, so we're all quite disfigured and scarred, and I was only a young pup when the sundering happened. I've only got a few scars from where my parents would have put runes into me to ensure I was a healthy young chap. But yeah, that's basically the dwarves.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll now jump down to Sam. Can you introduce us to Nurk Honesttooth, or should we give him his actual last name now? Now it's been revealed.
So, yeah, Nurk Honesttooth is a gnome peddler.
He's a gnoll.
He's a very old gnome peddler. Very much making his way in the world. At the end of last session, he received a letter from calling for one Garrick Hoddlebrook, which is Nurk's proper name, that he's sort of hidden away and might come out. Gnolls are very, are pretty much almost like halflings in this world, isn't it? They're very about. They have their own uses in the world. They're there. They're the main ones who started to explore on skiffs and stuff after the Sundering. They've got a bit more renown than like gnolls in normal settings, which is quite nice.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, your character's kind of embroiled in a bit of a conspiracy right now because he's been basically called up to the higher districts that's all run by gnolls by a letter from someone who claims to be his son, which is interesting. We will jump down now to Jordan to introduce us to Artegan Windwalker and the Jabari.
Yes, Artegan Windwalker. He is a druid by profession, so he's a magic user. Magic users are they're still quite common in the world, but they down channel their energy from this maelstrom, which is keeping everyone on these fragments alive, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. But druids uniquely in this time period also kind of sap their energy from nature around them. So when a druid casts a spell, a tree withers at an accelerated pace.
Yep.
He's also a Jabari, which is a race of sort of they're humanoid creatures, very similar to humans in appearance, apart from these sort of very lustrous red, sort of almost freckles that they have, which are embedded crystals, magical willpower crystals in their skin. And for this reason, because willpower crystals among mages and non-mages are a very sought after resource in the world, the Jabari are essentially hunted. So they're really not that commonplace in the world, and the ones that are mistrusting and reclusive, kind of a bit, I guess I could say they're a bit on edge most of the time, which I think sums up Artegan quite well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems to have found a group that will travel with him and have similar goals, but he's still got his wits about him.
Awesome. And finally, Sratis, which is Morgan's character. Whatever. I will say that name a million times wrong tonight. Please introduce yourself and the Krilly.
I'm Sratis. Hi.
I love them.
Sratis is a rather shy creature. Vaguely modeled off of, I don't think I've told you all this before. Vaguely modeled off of the lead character from Weeds. I don't know if you've ever seen Weeds.
I haven't. I'm glad I haven't, because the magic would have been ruined for me, I think. I was going to stop you there. I was going to say, don't ruin the magic. So that's fine.
But what I love about this character is that she is the character from Weeds is an incredibly timid presenting person, kind of afraid of everything, never really been on her own, never had to take care of herself. And she gets sort of trying to find the easy way out, dives into this world of drugs and gangs and spends the whole time being absolutely terrified, but always taking the first step deeper into the fire. And that's kind of how I see Xerxes. I absolutely love that about them. That I love that mix, that energy of the mix of being so terrified and afraid of everything, but also just compulsively led into the fire at all times. And that's basically who Xerxes is. But Xerxes is of the race Krilli, which is a bug-like race with gray skin and big eyes. I've thought about cosplaying them before, but I can't wrap my head around what to do with the eyes without it being like super weird. I'm still thinking about it. I might come up with something. But they are a race that used to be a part of a hive mind before the Sundering, and something about the loss of magic, or the what do you call it, like the corruption of magic, out the way it changed in the Sundering, means that they've actually lost contact with each other with their hive mind, which used to be called the One Thought. And so as a kin, they are trying to find their way back to the One Thought. And for many Krilli, magic is a way into that. And Xerxes is a blood mage. And the interesting thing about magic for Krilli is that every time they use magic and they make, magical contact with the Maelstrom, they get just a tiny whisper of the One Thought, just the tiniest whisper, and it's like a drug to Xerxes.
Also, Xerxes is now like fully embraced being a blood mage. I think, yeah. Last session you met Master Kaibar, who was this let's be honest, absolute fucking sadist who had a human harp, like a man playing himself as a harp. And Xerxes, instead of running away in horror, was like, teach me how to do that shit. That looks dope. Awesome.
Oh, we've also basically found so the what is it called again? This the group of blood mages, the cult.
I don't think you've got the cult's name, but
Oh, okay. It's just the cult right now. Okay, so their big thing is they're almost like a crafters guild in a way. They see blood magic as like a craft, right? And so they all have some weird, sick little blood magic hobby that they all try to perfect. And I think Hadal and Xerxes discovered essentially what they think that Xerxes's little crafting expertise is going to be, and that was removing the iron from blood and making metal out of it.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking cool.
Real metal, let's be honest. That's gonna be so cool. Have like a sword made of all your enemy's blood.
Literally, and
lose a pint of blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has anybody googled what the actual proportion is?
I've honestly watched a video on how much blood you would need to create a whole sword, and it's not a lot. Sorry, it's not a little amount. It's a lot. Like you need full people, like several full people. But equally, don't put that past Xerxes at this point. To be honest,
no.
Is 3 individuals enough? A dwarf, a humanoid,
well,
and
that's about 12 pints. 12 to 15 pints.
Well, you see, the problem is a dwarf is
humans.
quite small, so we'll have less blood.
Yeah. And also, most of Hoddle's
Well,
bloodstream is alcohol.
Some would say
Also,
Hoddle does have an iron heart, so you might get more.
Ooh.
Wow.
Also,
We could also potentially posit that dwarves have a higher iron percentage in their bloodstream than other kin do.
Probably. Also, that's I assume that's several people if you were in real world going to try and extract iron and make a sword.
Yeah, but I'm not going to make it easy for you to just get a metal sword. Jeez.
Xerxes is just going to walk into the middle of the town, just start blood bending and just popping it out.
Hey guys, I need you.
Blood bending.
I'm working on this project.
The question, I believe, I need to ask you all is, where are you heading first? The upper city of Barkoon to go see the Hoddlebrooks, or are you finally meeting up with the monk known as Karkan, who's supposed to have the the pirate known as Karkan, who's supposed to have the map to the Centurion Grove, where you'll be able to find a weapon to kill the Lich.
So I think I need to actually fully read this letter still. So what does it say implicitly as I open it up after the guys had walked away?
So what you see written on, it's kind of written over a ledger. So like an accounting ledger, where you just see, like, if you're actually reading the accounting part of this, it's just like the finance of a house going down and down and down and down and down. But the only person who signed it at the bottom is you. Written across that is it's time to pay your dues to the family. In like written thickly with like chalk over the front, with like charcoal over the front of this accounting ledger that you've signed at the bottom, where it's just a family's accounts going down and down and down. The thing that is noticeably to you, because it was your fault, is the biggest payout when you were basically almost in debt already was hiring a sand skiff and buying a bunch of silk. And then underneath that is the smallest insurance payout you've ever seen for about it was about 2 eyes, which is like copper basically.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look at that and just be like, fuck. Guys, I might have some business to attend to. Don't know if you want to join me. It's a bit of a story.
Do you need help?
Yes and no. I'm expecting a fight,
Huddle?
but
I'll go anywhere where there's no
hit
fucking
something?
human harps.
Want to hit something?
As long as it's not a fucking human harp, I'm good.
I don't think it will be. I think if
I'm
you follow him, you might get to find out.
Huddle's still feeling pretty queasy.
same.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it's a bit. I'm expecting a fight, but I don't want to fight. So don't make a fight if there isn't a fight. I don't know how this is gonna go.
Is it
Been
to
a
do with
few
the left?
years. Yeah.
Dear. Bad news?
You know how, like, people have like monikers for their name. Like, people go by one name, like Shirt or something like that. Nurk's sort of the same for me, to avoid the wrath of my family, and sort of been on the run for a while, but not hiding.
We
Well
all
then,
have. I've
I've
been
got
on the
an
run my
important
entire
question.
life.
What's the question, Otto?
Have you ever actually met someone called Shirt?
Yeah, they were a singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So you've all decided you're going up to the second city, the upper city, yeah?
Yeah, we're following Nurk, I think, by the sounds of it.
So
Gonna give him a
Nurk,
hand.
yeah, Nurk knows the way. Nurk has been this way, or used to go this way, pretty much every day from the markets up to his old family home. What we see is, again, in that same kind of mud brick on like white plaster architecture, but a much grander house. But this is definitely way more run down. At least the upper levels look way more run down than everything around it. Everything around it is very posh, very nice, like clean, everything. Whereas the upper levels of this particular kind of great house are very decrepit. The lower levels seem to have been like maintained fairly well. And it's got like room around it, so it's not like super packed in like it is in the lower cities. It's, you know, everyone's got kind of like a little veranda. They've got like a lemon tree, all of that. You do notice, like, walking in and out is like a bunch of people seeming to be going on like errands, but they don't look like the kind of people you would expect to see in the upper town. They're not like Knoll gentry. They're like human or krilly. They look kind of like scruffy. But they're like either running letters or they've got like little chests. They're all like running about. Like a bunch of people coming in, a bunch of people coming out as you kind of enter. What we see is this kind of like very grand, what probably you imagine used to be beautifully mosaiced entrance with a giant table in the middle, with someone in the middle, basically someone sat at the table, a gnoll, who looks very large, but has some kind of familiar features of Mr. Nurk Honestooth himself. But this gnoll looks a lot larger. Seems to have a lot more scarring, almost like he gets in fights a lot. You see a big obsidian dagger dug into the table, and what you also see, kind of lined on almost big mead hall drinking benches, is a bunch of sets of bones just laid out on the table. And what's interesting about these polished bones is they've all got kind of growths of red crystals coming out of it. They're kind of arrayed up the table. You see, he basically looks like he's checking over a ledger. As you come in, there's some really heavily armed gnolls around, just around in the general area, and you're seeing a couple humans who are, when people are running in, checking what the person needs or what the person wants, either giving them a chest, telling them to leave, writing it down on a slip of paper, and then handing it to a runner to take it to the table that this gnoll is sat at.
So on the walk there, I would have dipped into an alley, gone into my never-ending knapsack, pretty much stripped off these rags and got out some very old, moth-bitten, very destroyed fineries. When things are sun-bleached in sandy environments, so they're just pretty much rags themselves, but they've got tiny bits of colour still on them. And I'll have put that on, tied it up in a little robe.
So they're kind of satin. You've got trousers on that are very flowy. They're they used to be this wonderful bright orange, but they're kind of faded now. You're wearing this wonderful silk shirt that looks to have gold silk inlay. Obviously, it's not real gold. It's some kind of special dye that's been magically infused to look like gold. And you also have kind of studded along the shirt trim line, shards of willpower crystal. Not enough that you could use, but decorative willpower crystal shards. This is very obviously a high status set of clothing. When your companions see it, they'll instantly recognize it's fine clothing.
And yeah, do you see me come out of that? We would have headed in. I'll turn to Hoddle and go, Hoddle, have you ever had kids?
Not that I know of.
Good. They're a bit of a handful. Let's just say that I might have done the family wrong and then left expediently upon seeing it out.
Huddle just looks at you and goes, "What a strange conversation to have now." And I turn towards the table and just walk towards the guy and go, how you doing? This is my friend Nurk.
He sticks one gnoll clawed finger up as he's reading a note, looks it up, and then looks straight back down, continues reading his note, licks his thumb, turns the note over, reads the back of it, and then puts it on he's got these obsidian spikes on his desk. He seems to put it on one of the few obsidian spikes arrayed out. They look like they're for different reasons. He might have one for things that are important, things that are done, receipts, things that need to be handled. And after looking up and seeing Nurk there, he wrenches the obsidian dagger out of the table, flicks it round in his hand, and goes, points at you, and then points at a little clay, really well-maintained little clay pot with a big cork in it, that you're now noticing has on it a mosaic of, although it's quite crude because it's quite a small mosaic, it has a mosaic of a gnoll face on it. He goes, "Not even going to say hello to Mum?"
How are you doing? It's been a while.
That's what you got to say. You come into my fucking city after all these years, just spending the fortune that I've had to claw my way out the dirt, and you just say, how am I doing?
It seems like you're doing well.
He looks over at Hoddle now and he's like, coin?
Yep.
How much coin to hold him on his knees while I cut his fucking head off?
I'm getting the vibe that you two might know each other.
Oh, I love that. Oh, look. Okay, Jeremy. I'm here to, as the note said, repay my debt to the family. I've ran for far too long with this in my mind. This very day, this very meeting. And I want it over. I sense my life coming to an end anyway. You don't need to end it earlier than it needs to. But I feel I might have an out and something I might be able to give back to the family before the end of that.
Heard you got a ship.
Procured one. You know how it is. Sleepy people.
Any more silk trading?
Not in a few years, you know.
Well, it didn't fucking end well for us all last time, did it? So keep your nose out of that business.
Yeah.
He kind of snaps his fingers, and like what looks to be oh hi, I'll take a bloody sip. I'll take another one. What looks to be a human, but you're seeing they've got like very obvious scar tissue like all the way around their face, like as a crown, and they're really pale. Comes over with what looks to be like a really heavily reinforced chest. You're noticing it's been like nailed shut with obsidian nails. And the whole thing has been like tarred black, so it looks like waterproof, sandproof, everything. And he's like really shakily bringing it. He puts it down on the table next to Jeremy Hoddlebrook. And Jeremy like waves him away. And you notice like as he's leaving, he's got the same scars like all the way up both of his arms.
Jeremy, am I to think that it's our family name that's taking the Jabari?
When you say that, he kind of looks around. He whistles, and all of the non-gnolls leave the room. The only way this family fucking clawed itself up from anything is with the help of that sovereign. If that sovereign wants Jabari, that's what that sovereign gets. And then we sell, and he gestures at the table full of like bones with the gems in it. The scraps.
Did that guy seem very much alive? Do they just take the willpower? Do they, usually kill him?
That's a science experiment. He looks over. Alive for now.
Look, I left this family in a state. And
You left this family in ruin.
I did.
Am I still standing just like in between them, really uncomfortable?
I imagine you're like slightly to the side as that happens.
Yeah, like, we're there, and you're just there, like...
I really quite like the idea. I'm just like, caught in the middle.
Like, my hand's on your shoulder. Like,
Yep.
But I thought I'd make it back one day with a fortune. I'd be like, here you go, Jeremy. Look, pay my dues, and you can slit my throat. That has not happened. I spent years trying to make anything to bring back. And, the sad part is, I'm probably even poorer than when I left. However, and I'll sort of gesture over to Claret, I have a belief that we might be able to find something worth something that I can hopefully bring back to the family.
I know what you're searching for. It's very obvious why you'd come back here. Especially after your friend, and he points at Claret, has asking about Karkam. You know what? And he wraps the little box that was put on there. I'll tell you where the thing you're looking for is. And he pushes the box forward. You've got to deliver that, though.
To
Cinnabar.
he lives.
Lives is a strong word.
Ian lives.
Yeah. I'm alright.
I'll take it as like, is this gonna just explode as soon as we pull out of port, or is this? That'd be smart.
He sighs deeply.
That'll be the Jeremy I know.
He gestures to like the 5 massive gnoll who are out like around the thing. He goes, "If I wanted to kill you, I could have hunted you down like the fucking dog you are years ago. It won't kill you when you come out of port, because if it did, I'm gonna skin you alive. I just know I make a fucking killing if that gets where it's going. And I'm not sending my own men to die to give that fucking pirate this." And he's about to say something, he kind of stops himself. Doesn't matter what it is. You're probably not going to make it out alive, but I'm going to make some money off of it. You get that where it's going.
That I'll stand up and is it like a big thing, or is it like quite a...
No, it's like this fucking big. Like it's weirdly reinforced for such a small chest. And as you're about to get up, he lifts something like a papyrus-esque map from underneath the desk, puts it on. He's like, "There's a location, Cinnabar's Horde."
I'll look at the map. Does it look pretty accurate to what we think might be?
Yeah, so maps on the Sundered Realms are a bit weird. They don't like, it's not like point A to point B. It's essentially like a place and then almost like a star-esque chart, using like, basically there's this giant mountain range that everyone navigates off of, and all of the maps are these like geometric representations of like how far away from certain points you need to be to get to a place. But it's not like a map showing like a bunch of stuff around it. It's like, if you go this way and then turn a certain direction and then start going this way and then turn a certain direction, it's but all of that's represented as like a geometric shape. So you have to like follow instructions of a geometric shape around like a piece of paper, because no one actually knows like the full layout of the fragment.
I'll get really like I'll take it and I'll like pick up the thing. I'm guessing I've got like a. I was gonna say my sack's pretty big and that's weird wording. And I'll like try and, you know, do as best as I can. Might even tie it up and then put it over my back like that chest. And I'll get really close to Jeremy and go, "You know, despite everything, I love you, and everything I did was for love and the family."
He slaps you like a backhanded
I'm still between
slap. Like, he said he came forward and leapt, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Yeah, over me, right? Over me. I'm small.
He just slaps you like full force, hard around the face.
Whilst I'm that close, and after he slaps me, I go, "Sovereign got any need for Jabari druids?"
Why are you leaving one with me?
Not yet. I have a hunch. I just want old plans. You know us. We always need avenues and alleys.
You would say that. And Dad.
Yeah.
You ever come to my fucking city again, I'll string you from the mast of the skiff that brings you in.
That's very fair. Seems opportune that I did come back, though.
Aye, I need an idiot to run a piece of cargo.
And with that, I'll like just start. And we're like, if I do come back and have, you know, more than your payment in mind, where do we go from there? As family.
There is no family anymore.
You not got any yourself? You'd likely last of the line.
Aye.
I'll put it up and go. Good. Kids are a pain. And I'll put it up, and you see that like Nurk, now that he's not wearing rags, has got like a huge like gash that's all the way across his like neck. There's like multiple blade marks, and I'll put it, and I'll start to head on out.
Awesome. Right. So as you head out the doors,
See you, Nurk.
Arnold's still there.
We're all stood there.
Yeah,
Arnold doesn't know what's going on. He fell asleep for a couple minutes.
Are you all following Nurk out, or have you got questions to ask Jeremy Hoddle?
I got one. I got something to ask. Yeah. So there's a lot of talk of gold. Yeah, a lot of talk of money. Was there a bounty on his head at all? Bring him here.
He looks at
Because
if
I did
out
bring
of
him here.
earshot now. He goes, under the desk, procures like an obsidian dagger, and what you're seeing is it's an obsidian dagger, but like it's been beautifully carved along the back, to have like the face of like a Knoll woman on it, like as if it's like going up the blade, and then her bottom jaw is the blade.
Well,
Cut his head off with this, and there's a bounty in it. Make sure the cargo's delivered first, though. And he kind of like slaps you on the side of the face as he says it. You dwarves like metal, right?
Yeah.
He opens up his like jacket, and you see there it looks like a tuning fork, like a to tune musical instruments, and it's hanging in his coat. It's only like that big, but it looks to be some kind of like solid steel object. Closes it. I'll give you that if you bring me his head when that cargo's delivered.
I was like putting the dagger back onto the table, and had pretty much done so. And then pick it back up and stow the dagger.
After like I've headed out, I'll be like, well, I'll head back in. As I'm guessing Hoddle's starting to walk away. I'm like, Jeremy, one last thing. I think this is yours, and I'll take out like a bit of parchment, put it on the desk, and then head straight back out. And it's like a little child's drawing of like a little family.
You guys don't see this, but the camera would see. He kind of opens it up. We see like not a tear or anything, but his eyes get slightly wetter.
Yeah.
Before he just scrunches it up and throws it behind him into like a brazier, and it kind of flickers as we kind of pan back to the group.
Okay.
I imagine that like Artegan and Xerxes have been sort of like stood like at a vague distance away from all the stuff that's happening, and that Xerxes is like hovering at Artegan's side. Like their normal position would be behind Artegan, but because Artegan is the Jabari and they're actually quite like afraid for Artegan's life at this point, they don't know what to do with themselves, and they're just like eyes darting everywhere, and just the relief on Xerxes' face when everybody just kind of walks away.
I guess we'll flash back very briefly to while that conversation is happening. Artegan, what is your thoughts of these tables full of very obviously Jabari bones?
He's just been standing there, like taking in the scene, not really sure what to do. But I would imagine that it's not something that's in Artegan's head. It's kind of like confirmation of rumor that he knows he's been hunted, and he knew there had to be a reason, and this is just kind of a bit of closure and a way of seeing like, okay. Because he's never really known any other Jabari properly, because he's always just been a bit of a loner. but it's giving him it's just giving him more of a conviction in there. Right, okay.
I will say that you do see one of the skulls on the table. It looks to be a little bit smaller, kind of feminine-esque, with lots of mana crystals kind of embedded in it. You imagine enough that it would count as a willpower crystal if you pocketed it. Would you like to take a skull?
Is it how close is that thing?
It's like on the edge of the table next to where you're standing at, and everyone seems to be really focused on the big confrontation that's happening in front of you.
I'm going to cast Cat's Paw and do it, and I'm going to spend an extra willpower to obscure magic.
Whoa! Yes, excellent. Do you want to roll your magic mishaps as you do that? Well, let's say that this is just as Hoddle's having his little conversations, and just as the conversations are ending. This is when you cast it. You want to cast the magic mishaps, please?
3 total I'm casting, because it's base 2,
What?
plus 1 for subtle.
That's a magic mishap. Get that table out. What,
Hey, I'm not angry. I have the magic mishap table. It's actually very close to the page in the book that I have earmarked for.
Awesome.
Did someone else do that? Oh, no.
Please roll
I
yourself
love
a
that.
magic mishap.
Don't
Don't forget the dash NS for not
it's
sorting.
roll. Is it 2d6-NS?
Yes. So we feel the male. I guess we don't because you're obscuring magic. What around you can wither slightly.
My other feckin' eye at this point.
Okay, yeah. The magic disturbs your sleep. You won't be able to sleep for d6 days, and it makes me sleepy.
Okay,
so
we'll take
I'm
off
just going to roll
sleepy as
d6.
a thing. So basically,
I'm just
what
going to roll
happens
a d6 just to say.
is
Oh, fuck. 6 days.
because you're casting it in front of all of these Jabari bones, what actually happens is when you cast Cat's Paw, in order to steal this thing, we see the willow tree outside wither slightly, and your Cat's Paw you cast fine, but as you grab for the skull, you basically get a glimpse into every single one of the depths of the like hundreds of bones around you, and that's what haunts your dreams basically. Like for the next 6 days, all you can see when you close your eyes is people that look very much like you, just their faces as the final moments happen, as someone slits their throat or like cranes their head in. Like that's all you can see, like every time you close your eyes, because you've magically cast a spell and then instantly grabbed bones that are encrusted with willpower and also have died in these horrific ways. That's all you see when you close your eyes after that point. However, the tree wilts slightly outside. No one sees as you grab this thing off the table and pocket it. With your Cat's Paw, you don't even have to roll. I won't even make you roll. You just, no one's paying attention to you. You cast it, whoomp, right in your robes.
As we're walking, I'll get close to Huddle and just be like, "Reckon it's in this chest. Say, give to an undead lich, pirate king."
Nothing good, kid. Nothing good.
Could be metal. Could be magics. Could explode in our faces. It's very fun. Should we
Like
get
the
Clara to
drum.
open it?
What was that?
I
Check
didn't
the
want to-
drum.
I didn't want to open it until now.
No, it could explode in our faces like the drum.
So you head outside of the estates, and as you're kind of walking back down to Lower Town, 2 guards with these giant, they kind of look like Komodo dragons, step out from the side. One of them's Null, one of them's human. One of them's holding this like giant, like barbed whip in his hand, and the other one's got like a bone scimitar, and they stand directly in front of the group. Time to make your choice, the Null barks.
Fine, gentlemen. I think you'll find that I recently just had a talk with Mr. Jeremy Hollenbrook, and we will be keeping these 2 Jabari for the time being upon completion of delivering this, and I'll bring out my chest, and I'll be like, upon which we will return them back to the city with the payment, and they will be taken by the city at that point. Unfortunately, this delivery quest is a bit too difficult to complete without their aid.
You want to give me a roll there, my guy? Manipulation.
Make that skill roll.
Yeah. I've got like 400 things open. So, manipulation, that's good. So, manipulation is... it's been a while since I've rolled. Oh, crap. And I do have something for it.
Oh, fail.
Wait there.
Oh, you pushing?
Ooh.
Is this a manipulation roll?
Yes.
When you manipulate someone, you roll one more X, then you need to win the opposed roll. You can inflict 1 point of damage to empathy on your opponent per extra X. Is that one base?
That's one success. You need to get you count. What was the exact wording of that skill? Sorry.
When you manipulate someone and roll more X than you need to win the opposed roll,
More successes than you need to win the opposed roll, you can inflict damage.
Oh, okay. I'll push it. There you
go. They get one success. They will push it as well. Yeah, they get one success. Okay. What are you trying to? Do you want to trigger that so you inflict damage?
You know, hurt his soul a little. Why not? Hurt his character. Make him feel a little bit stupid in front of his buddies. That's what I imagine.
He stops for a second. He's like, "Well, we're not far away. We can just check. He's not going to attack you straight away." But he sent his friend off by himself. So now there's only one guy with a Komodo dragon to go check with Jeremy, because Jeremy's so close.
I don't know whether to wait this out or not. That would help. It would make sense.
That's the decision I'm asking you to make, my guy.
Okay.
If we don't move soon, this chest's gonna blow.
Okay, give me a manipulation roll, please, Mr. Ryan.
Just the first,
Yes, I love it.
I don't think I've done manipulation yet. It's empathy, right?
It is empathy.
Okie dokie. So, don't have anything in the skill.
One success versus one failure. He gestures for you to run, as if get to your skiff. Now, get out of the city. Well, why don't you say that in his first part? Go!
I'll let.
Apple keeps doing shit and it keeps working.
I tried to give you a combat with animals in, so you could use some skills, but that's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah. He basically is now telling everyone run, let them through, and he's basically clearing a path for you to get to the docks.
Nice to feel special, isn't it, Hoddle?
I always do. Not always a good thing.
You do realise you haven't actually done the one thing you need to do in this city, right?
I have already forgotten. I've got a
fuck's
chest.
sake.
I've just met my family. I'm not guiding anymore. I'm on a mission to just go.
But hang on a second. Didn't Nurk's son give us a map to Cinnabar's horde? Isn't that what we were after?
Yeah, but he hasn't given you anything that can help you fight a fucking lich pirate, which is what you're after, which is at the Centurion Grove. There's 2 stages to your plan.
Oh, I thought it was just the map.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were just after
I'm
the
not
map
going to lie
here.
to you, Ben. That's a IRL player. Fuck up.
Oh, you need
Arpa.
to go to Centurion Grove because it will have a weapon that will help you defeat the thing that's at Cinnabar's horde.
Yes,
2-stage
okay,
plan.
Let's split off. I'll go to the Centurion Grove. You guys
Claret
go
Moore
to the-
screaming that at
I
us
will-
as we run.
Yeah,
to the skip.
Claret Moore's like, we don't
and
know
I-
how to
I-
fucking kill Cinnabar, right?
I love this shot of us running through the town, and then she comes out of a side alley and also starts joining in the run. Where are we running?
That sounds pretty much like Claret. She's like, you got the map to the Centurion Grove then, we're all good, we can...
Oh, Shit!
Centurion Grove, what's
No!
that?
Right. I feel, right, top of head, it's bad for Jabari to be here, so should we split?
Maybe, based on the amount of time we've got and the amount of episodes left in the series, perhaps, Clara, you should get it.
I don't know. I feel like, you know, in 4 episodes we could go to one place, pick up one thing, and then have a final encounter at the end of the whole thing. I feel like
The fuck's an episode?
it's you know what I mean. Like, I don't feel like we're being a bit more time sensitive than we arguably need to be. I think there was an order of operations here that we didn't really think about.
Clarence, is that the
sense.
sword we need in your hand and an angry mob chasing you?
No, this is the weapon I've been carrying this whole goddamn time. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know anymore.
There's two different locations. One of them we
had a
need to go
stressful
to
day.
first.
How long does this run? My little legs can't take it.
We're at the boat. We're literally on the boat now. I don't know. So
Why am I
guess
talking
you're
about
on the
that?
skiff now. You've got the.
We're all having this
chest,
conversation on the deck of the ship, and Hoddle's running laps.
Clarence like getting ready to like cast the sail. Do you want to leave? We don't know where the Centurion grow. You want to go straight to Cinnabar's horde? I mean, we can do that. That's fine. I'm sure you know with our combined strength we can just
the weapon.
take on the great pirate Dreadlord.
We need the weapon.
I don't know. I feel like we've all grown as people, as a crew. Do we really need like some kind of divine weapon to kill him? I feel like we're good.
My thought on this is, you two, just as Claret and Artegan, are likely going to be made for scrap if we stay here for much longer. I've managed to talk our way out of you already being made into, chunky crystals.
You know what we could have done? We could have killed those people, not got rushed to the boat, then gone and got the man we're actually fucking here for. And there is a series of events that's happened here that has led to me, and then she like undoes part of the sail, led to me making us leave before really we should be leaving. And the guard, he's like gesturing for you to go like rapidly on the dock.
What have you done?
Huddle.
This is fun.
Huddle, we need the weapon. Huddle.
I think we need the weapon.
So we're not leaving. So what are we doing about the one man who thinks that we're going to explode?
I have a plan.
It's safe now. It's on the skiff.
I've got. Hang on. I've got this. I've got it. Okay.
I've got this.
I'm gonna cast Stir the Blood on this guy who's like encouraging us to leave.
Yeah.
And I aim to like accelerate his fear to the point where he's just gonna run off for his own sake.
Okay. Can you give me a magic mishap roll for Stir the Blood? How many points of it are you putting in? Or how many points do you need to?
I still technically don't have rank 2 yet, do I? I have to sit down with the puzzle box, so...
Yeah. You can still cast multiple willpower into that. You just can't cast any rank 2 spells.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay.
And also you casting with an extra willpower to obscure magic for magic users that might be around.
Yeah, fine.
Ooh, you don't have to.
No, I clearly do.
No, you don't have to.
I clearly do.
You do.
The GM is suggesting it. I clearly do.
Someone else
already me off in one way or another. So
I'm happy if you alert a wizard to the fact that you're casting a spell in order to get a guard away from you. I'm sure there's no negative repercussions that could happen. You do what you want to do on your turn.
I'm gonna cast it at with 2 willpower plus the obscure. And I've never done a roll on the magical mishaps table, so how does that work?
Just roll
again?
as many BA dice as as the spell's power level. So that's 1 for the obscure magic, and then 2 for the Stir the Blood that you want to cast at level 2, right? Does it do anything extra at level 2?
Okay.
I don't know how the spell works, but yeah.
Is it a rank 1 or 2 spell? I can't remember.
Rank 1.
Oh,
you only need to cast 1 for that, and then 1 for obscure.
Okay.
Some spells have like more will. You're good. You're all good. You don't cause any magic mishaps.
Okay.
Through the veil. What word should we give you? Deceit. echoes through the maelstrom. You don't see anything in the maelstrom echoed because you're obscuring that kind of effect, but you still get the voice of the one thought echo through. As this guy goes, "It's gonna explode!" and like runs off like into the crowd, his blood, it clearly impassioned, bolts away. You're now just on the soundskiff by yourself. Clara is, she's now like re-putting the rigging up, but is like, "So what the fuck is the actual plan?"
Huddle! Let's go.
Right. We're gonna move out. We're gonna go see the pirate. Clarets. Looks at Clarets. Looks at the box. Looks at Claret. Looks at the box. That box is worth a lot. Don't open it.
Clara is like playing with a dagger as you say that and goes, "Well, I didn't want to open it until you said that." And just is like staring at it now and like doing nothing else but playing.
Clarets, we don't know what's in there. It's a complete unknown mystery.
She looks over at Huddle and goes, "Well,
Open
now I want
it.
to open it even more. What the fuck do you mean? Could be
Clarets.
anything. What if it's metal? What if it's
You're giving
metal?
Clara an
Very well
existential
could
crisis.
It could be. Let's fucking prise that bitch open. Let's do it.
Claret,
What if it's
we'll be
wine?
back.
What if it's
Huddle.
wine?
Huddle.
Yeah.
Take Claret with you.
But she's a Jabari.
That's
Yeah.
true, but don't they know Claret? So this should go easier with them there. I'll happily stay on the boat.
I will stay and guard. I'll stay and guard your box. Look, I won't open it. Fucking pirates' honor. We're full of honor, pirates. You know that for a fact.
Huddle. I'll stay. I'll make sure she doesn't open it.
Okay. Certis is gonna take a few steps toward Claret, and this is they're not gonna get as close as a normal person would in order to try to intimidate another person, but given how much of a distance Certis usually keeps to the rest, this is highly unusual. Certis sort of comes up, like takes a few steps and looks up at Claret in the eye and says, "Claret, if we come back and we find that box open, I will boil you." And then turns and walks away.
The fuck does that mean? You'll boil me? What the Clara is like looking at the rest of you like, when did the little fucking insect grow some fucking balls? What happened here? What? I just went off to buy liquor and suddenly you got that thing's a fucking badass. You got a box from fucking nowhere.
It had to be in between the time of seeing the man playing his own intestines and me meeting up with my son.
The fuck
Been
do
a
you
long
mean a
day.
man played his own intestines?
It's a testament to your fine leadership, Captain. I'm trying to calm Claret down now by like that whole scene in where he's like, "Come on, think pirate things."
Coming with us.
I don't know. My plan was to stay.
Okay.
Currently.
Okay.
Just in
As I'm
case
leaving
any
the boat,
gnolls
I turn back one last time to Claret. Claret, don't open the box, and I give her a wink.
I'm getting so many fucking mixed messages right now.
You're gonna blow the poor girl's mind.
Clara like sinks down, like stood next to the mast, like slumps, grinds her back against the mast as she slumps. Fishes out a bottle of wine, pulls the cork out, and just starts chugging it on the deck of the ship.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lean in and go, "If it's metal, it's mine," and then walk off.
Clara is just drinking wine, staring at the box that's just left on the deck of the skiff.
Right. Do we know where we're going?
Yes, you do know where Karkan is. He's,
Okay.
Can I? Sorry, just one thing I want to do as a parting thing before they go. I'll let this play out in a sec. I just want to go over to the box and put my hand on it.
It's magical, motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
real magical.
cool. That's all I wanted to know.
You can feel almost like so you get the initial magical sense, and then you get almost like waves of intense magic, almost like in a steady rhythm, coming from whatever's inside the box. You don't think the box itself is magical, just whatever is inside of it is so powerful that it's making the box almost like vibrate with magical energy.
Is there a particular function of this design that I would know about to know if it's a containment device of sorts and what it could be containing?
This is a box.
There's nothing special. Like, again, there's no history I know of
It's
this.
it's an ebony box, so it's really hard wood. It's got obsidian nails nailing it shut, and the whole thing's been tarred. This is the most secure lockbox that you can probably make on the Sundered Realms before you get metal.
And I've not put it down, so you're staring at my back.
Fine.
I have not put it down. It is like firmly attached to my back.
I imagine you
covered
put
in
your hand on it to check if it was magic.
Covered in tar. It's glued to you.
Like
It's like dried pitch. It's dried tar. It's not. It's a little sticky, but it's not.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
Cool. Yeah.
dog.
Doggo.
Nathan's leaving. Nathan's checked out.
Literally, no. He's gonna go see the point. That's what that was. Sweet. So I'm gonna stay on the ship with Claret and Artegan, and I'm gonna say that if anyone approaches for the Jabari, I'll try tell them to like keep out of line of sight. And if anyone approaches, I'm just gonna tell them that we've got a pretty much what our task is from my son.
Cool. So it's just Huddle and Strategi's going to go find Karkin, the pirate. So you go to the address that you're supposed to go to. You were told it's a house, but when you get there, you can hear kind of like Gregorian chanting echoing from within the house. You notice that there's like animal fat candles burning on the windowsills as well, and the door's been replaced with like a bead, like hanging.
Is it a recognizable chant?
It's religious of some kind, but you probably aren't religious yourself because pretty much no one on the fragments is. It's actually quite weird to have someone who's religious in any kind of way.
Did Claret say this was some kind of holy relic or something?
Nope. Just. I mean, it's Claret, so
This gives me bad vibes.
It could be anything.
All right, well, you go first.
Yeah. I was gonna go bang on the door, but then like 10 steps backwards.
There's no door. It's just like a bead hanging.
Oh, I'm gonna knock on the beads.
They kind of rustle slightly. As they kind of waft, you can smell like a very thick burning incense smell coming from without, and the Gregorian echoing stops, and then you hear, "Come in, brother. All are welcome
here." Just walk in. Just.
Yes, walk into the light.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm walking in. My legs are like shuffling. I'm coming in.
The beads kind of.
I'm
hit you
gonna
the
walk
face
in.
as you're yeah. Come, brother.
As I walk in, like I'm still shuffling as the beads slowly like attached to my face and beard and get all tangled in them.
What you see in there is a man who is in these like big, like really coarse looking robes. He's got an entirely shaved head, and you can see like what look to be like long faded tattoos going up his face, but they look to be like almost like scarred out, like someone's taken a knife to them and like cut them, so they like scarring. But they're obviously remnants of long faded tattoos. The man is entirely hairless on his face. That's all you can really see of him. No eyebrows, no facial hair, no head hair. To the point where it looks almost like he never had any at any point. What you do notice is only his facial, only the obvious ones on his face have been crossed out. You do notice like peeking from under the monk's kind of vestments are relics of long faded but brilliant tattoos. Have you come to be enlightened, brother? He says.
Sir, I'm gonna be honest, in my old age, I very regularly walk into a room and forget why I came in. I think I'm here for a weapon.
I'm picturing like Hoddle has managed to get like all the beads like stuck in his beard and everything, and so
Yeah.
Curtis is like helping him untangle them, and it's just like, oh, are you Karkan?
That was my name once.
Once, right? We're looking for someone who's called Karkan now.
Only once.
I guess.
They now call...
Who has the name once?
I lived a life of sin, brother. But I was saved in the holy light of the great Beetle.
Do you know someone called Claret Moore?
He stops kind of dead in his tracks, and his face goes from this like really peaceful, passive face to one of like a spark of fear and then a spark of rage. And then he tries to like regain his composure, and he goes, "I once knew a Claret Moore."
Yeah, no, we can tell you know Claret. That's the look everybody gives once they've met Claret.
That's the look. You do know her.
She says you've got something that we need to, kill a. What's it called again?
It's a like a lich. It's got a name. It's named after baked goods. A cinnamon bun? Is that what it was? Was it a cinnamon bun?
Do you seek the map to the Centurion Grove?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the thing.
But there's something to fell a cinnamon bun, no?
The elves held many secrets, brother.
Yes.
But
Elves?
none.
Fucking elves. Fuck this.
But no secret are great as the knowledge of the great Beetle.
The what? Oh, you worship a beetle?
Ah, yes, the great Beetle. You have come to hear of the words of the great Beetle.
I'm sorry. Beetles have words.
This one does, brother, and he speaks the truth.
Well, we're already here.
I mean, I'd be really surprised if a beetle could lie.
I agree. Brother, the Beetle tells only the truth.
Yep. Tell me the truth.
Well, it's
How
kind of...
about you tell us the truth about where this map is?
He looks at you and he goes, I am sorry for the sin I'm about to commit of indecent exposure. And he kind of like hikes up. He turns around and he hikes up his big monk vestments all the way up like over his head, and you see tattooed on his back the map to the Centurion Grove.
Oh.
I look a bit further down. Is that the Beetle?
No, it's supposed to be a rowboat. But we don't really know what they look like anymore. I just asked for and he like lets the vestments
It's
drop.
only got one oar.
Why would it have more than one oar for one person?
Mm-hmm.
That would be ridiculous.
Do you have another version of the map? One a little bit more portable.
What's more portable than on my skin, brother?
Will you be coming with us to the grove?
He stops and he looks at you for a second, and then he looks over at his altar. Do you require my enlightenment, brother? And that of the great Beetle?
Sure.
Yeah.
But how about like you just save it for now, and you can tell us all about it once we get to the skiff.
You want me to tell you all about it?
And
Of course,
you put
I
your
will
robes
enlighten
back
you.
down now.
I've never had this many disciples. And you see him like run over and he's like grabbing a bunch of scrolls.
You can put the robes back now as well.
He already dropped them. To talk
Okay,
about.
that's good.
He's like grabbing a bunch of scrolls and like putting them in like this big like leather knapsack.
I was just concerned at the height I was at, and he had his
Straight butt
robes up.
cheek, right butt cheek, right in your face.
Yeah.
grabbing all of these texts, put them in a big knapsack, throws them over his back, and he goes, "A pilgrimage! Oh, the great Beetle. He will smile upon me," and he kind of like starts rubbing where his like eyebrows used to be, and he's like, "Where did they go?" And he like grabs some other stuff. He grabs like a big succulent leaf, grabs some rations for himself, and then gets this like big like shepherd's crook. "I will shepherd you in the ways of him, the great Beetle. And together, my friends, we will find the elven weapon, and slay the demon Cinnabar, and bring the great word of the great Beetle to the people. Is this your quest?
Cinnabar! That was it!
Is this your holy quest, young dwarf?
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, absolutely.
Yep,
absolutely.
beetles.
The great Beetle!
They're pretty good.
Yeah, it came to us in a dream.
He came to you in a dream. Ah, that makes sense, for you are a Krilly, and it is well rumoured that the great Beetle and the One Thought are one.
Wait, what?
And he like digs through his
Rumour
like,
about who?
vestments. Well, by the first of the followers, and he like digs out this thing, and it's like a really old scroll, and you see it's like half of it's written in like the ancient Krilly text that you probably don't know to read, but you do know kind of vaguely what it looks like. In the same way you know what Cyrillic looks like, but you kind of probably don't know how to read Cyrillic, right?
Yeah.
Half of it's
Okay.
that, and the other half's in like the common tongue. And it's a Krilly account of basically like a Krilly philosopher who started the religion of the Great Beetle, which you realise is probably just a poor translation of like the Krilly One Thought. Like they tried to like go for insect One Thought. You're realising now this guy isn't worshipping just a Great Beetle. He's worshipping the One Thought, even though he's not Krilly.
And you've been taking the piss out of him for the last like 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
So,
I mean, this is like dead silence from Curtis at this point. Like, what?
Great Beetle!
I picture that.
Your people had first contact with our deity.
Does it speak to you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, like when?
When I channel the maelstrom.
Right, okay. Are you done packing? Let's go. We
I
need to
am.
go. Ronald, we need to go.
Yeah. Beetles, let's go.
So
Right.
As
wonderful.
as
finding
the
out
monk
follow.
walks past, and we sort of following him along. I just sort of go to Curtis. Well, gosh, that's a bigger sack than Nerds.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah.
It's a day for it.
It's okay. Sure. Right. And they're just like reading the scroll as they're like speed walking back to the skiff.
You
sort of like
probably
peering over.
you were alive pre-maelstrom, right?
Huddle wasn't he?
Yeah,
I
you
was.
were, right? Stratis.
No, not me. No, I'm the youngest one of the party.
You're reading the most detailed account of the One Thought and what it was actually like at the time for a Krilly to be connected to it that you ever read in your whole life. This is like a first-hand account of what it was like to be one with the hive again. And the way they're describing it is like thousands of voices and eyes in harmony, and you experience the greatest passions of life at the same time as the greatest woes, and the way it's written here is almost as if it's another plane of existence, and it's fully echoing kind of like the brief glimpses of the One Thought that you've had in the past. It's enrapturing if you're big into the One Thought, which you are.
Yeah. No, I mean they're basically okay. So Curtis is just gonna not pay attention to the two behind him, walk their own pace back to the skiff, head straight to whatever private cabin they have, and just sit down with this scroll. In fact, what they might do though is they might actually drag Karkan with them into their cabin and just start pouring through like all of his scrolls.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what you will figure out is the Great Beetle religion is all to do with the One Thought, and it's basically like a bunch of thoughts and theories about how the One Thought can be brought through the maelstrom. And they describe it as the giant beetle, as if it was a dung beetle pushing the world, but the world is encased in the dung, and the One Thought is outside pushing to try and get in. And there's a bunch of different theories of how it can be brought back, and how not only it can be brought back, but everyone can be connected to the One Thought. But it seems to all be kind of like theoretical. A lot of the older accounts are more like scientific in their kind of descriptions of how we're going to do it, like scientific arcaning, how you would do it. As you get to kind of the newer stuff, it's more like philosophical, religion-y kind of stuff. So it kind of goes from these like really vivid accounts, people desperately trying to get the One Thought back, to kind of like religious text hymns, all that kind of stuff. And Karkan will like talk to you for hours about it. Like he's fully in the source.
Yeah, I mean, Surtees is just gonna fall on grill him for as long as it takes.
Yep, you do that in the cabin. And so what happens is like you lead them onto the ship, and Clara like goes, where the fuck did his eyebrows go? As he's like talking to you like very openly about the beetle, and he kind of ignoring her because he's finally got someone who not only is a Krilly but also believes in like his deity. So he's fully enraptured in that conversation and goes, so we have a heading then. We just need to get the man nude.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Aye.
It's nicely, as far as I know.
We should.
You haven't got any wine.
But I mean, Karkan, will you just show him the map?
Ah, yes, of course. And he's like still talking to you about like the One Thought as he like pulls his robe up and shows like the it's a really nice tattoo of the kind of Sundered Realms-esque map of where the Centurion Grove is.
Karkan, if I can advise one thing as an elderly gentleman, make sure you're wiping properly, because currently you are.
Who has time to wipe when the One Thought is out there? And the Great Beetle. Ah, yes. I remember the last time I spoke. It said deceit.
Great, so we got something
Did
to
it?
feed to the purple one.
It said that to me. Why would it say the same thing to both of us? Oh, but it's the One Thought, and it says the same thing to everyone all the time. It says all things to everyone all the time. Tell me more.
And he continues spewing off. And, like, most of it's unusable, like, religious zeal. But a few things in there that he'll say are really like, no, that's my experience. I've seen the One Thought. Like, I know what it is. So, yeah, he will prattle on for 4 hours. About 8% of it fucking useless. But, about 20%.
I imagine this whole thing is completely useless to everyone else, and also very bizarre, probably,
Yeah.
to look at.
At one point in this journey, I just go, I'm sorry. You got all this from a book?
Several scrolls. Oh, and I had a teacher. Oh, yes.
Was it a picture book?
No. I used to be a pirate, you know, and then I captured this Krilly guy who was super into the Great Beetle, and he fully converted me.
No, not interested.
I used to be a
I only
fierce
like the
pirate.
picture books.
Hold
Do
on,
you-
what if
do you
they
know where
have
this-
metal?
Pardon?
What if they have
The
metal?
One Thought doesn't have any metal. The One Thought is everything and everywhere.
Who has metal?
One thought. Strategic just said they have everything everywhere.
Please, it's the Great
But they
Beetle. I don't know
are-
what the
they
One Thought
are-
is.
They are everything.
Unless it's an armored beetle, I don't think so.
Some say the Great Beetle is a giant golden beetle. Some say
Is
it's
it what?
giant
A
steel
golden beetle?
beetle. Or a giant steel beetle.
It's just okay.
Mm.
The beetle is a metaphor. The beetle is a
A
metaphor. okay?
steel beetle, that would be quite good. Gold?
It's not actual-
Let
no,
me
it's
tell you
not
something
metal.
about gold. People often think it's a strong material. It's not. Actually made
okay,
useless armor.
no,
My
tell me- okay,
great-great-great-grandfather once
me
made
what-
an
really,
entire
tell me
armor
what
set
you
out
know.
of gold. Felled in
Is he
battle.
still alive?
Felled.
Where is he?
Artegan hands Nurk half the popcorn he's eating.
Yeah, I'll turn to Artegan and be like, oh, how the fuck have we survived so long?
He once tried to stab a dragon with a golden sword. The sword bent.
I've got
It's
to
gone.
meet this Critty. I've got to meet him. Was he alive before the maelstrom?
He's dead now. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, he's dead. How did he die?
You
Where
won't
did
read
he
that in a
die?
book.
Well, we were trying to spread the word of the Great Beetle in Bakun.
And she won without pictures.
We went
How'd you
to-
get any explanation without a picture? Or do you just look at the words? What can words do? You need pictures?
Maybe I can find
Pictures
his
tell the
phone.
true story, not a picture
I'm
book. Not worth the time.
started to
Where he was
start the
last.
ship going.
What do you mean, look? We've been travelling for 3 days.
He tells you the story of how he died, and basically,
I'm
fucking-
sorry, who died? Who died?
The Krilly, how the Krilly died.
Okay.
And
We think
him and
Nate's
Karkan
playing.
went to a bar to try and convert more people, and the Krilly got glassed and died.
Oh.
I need to know the name of this bar and its location. Even if the bar is not still a bar, I need to know like the exact point where he died.
He tells you it was in Barcoon. It was in a bar called the Skeevy Beaver.
And I swear, just as the skiff is pulling away, Sorchise is like attempting to leap off the skiff to go back to this bar.
Anyone stop in Stratis?
Oh, yes. I'm imagining it's like what
We all
doing the
are.
final checks on the ship. Artegan's taken like the sort of scouting role, and he spots She's about to just like swan dive off the side of the skiff. She's like, nope. Where are you going?
But I gotta go. I think I can maybe make connection to the one thought if I can find the exact spot
It's
for this
just
really
a
well.
book!
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Oh, the Great
This-
Beetle. Would you like to hear the words of the Great Beetle, brother?
I
You
put my
wouldn't
hand in the guy's
understand.
face and I just push him back. And I'm still like, Critis, this is the most animated I've ever seen you, but I need you focused
I
right
need
now.
to know. I need to hear the one thought. I need to know everything that this Curly knew.
Maybe the answers are in this box.
It's still on the
Clara
still
is
drunk
still
again.
staring at the box.
Who's staring at the box?
Clara.
Oh, Clara. And I look at Clara and I go, no.
It is firmly attached to my back still.
I'll be honest, I don't see what the big deal is, right? I'm just an old dwarf and I have more than one thought. Does that make me more intelligent than your giant beetle?
Less.
Oh. Well, I lied. I only have one thought anyway. Metal!
And I think this wonderful religious debate is where we're going to leave it today. Thank you, everyone, for watching Variant Roles at Sundered Realms stream.
Nathan. Seriously, mate, you fucking killed that.
He's not playing Hoddle. He is Hoddle.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, mate, that was... Oh, that's the greatest thing.
That was fun.
I've entered the mind of Hoddle now. That's it. I've arrived.
Yeah.
I've never laughed so much. Ben's writing. What's Ben writing? Oh, no.
None of you died this session, so, you know.
Got a planning for the next one, I guess.
Yeah. Just moving forward by my
You're
life.
telling me, this
Next
box I've got
episode.
attached to my back is magical. I am opening that box.
This thing's magic
So-
is all hell.
Let's do XP, guys, as we like to do at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
So,
Fill the sword.
everyone participated in a game session. Please take a little flipping XP.
Do we get
Fucking...
XP for our 5.5 scenes at all?
No.
Not even one. Just
Alright.
one little cheeky XP.
You know
Just a
what?
participation
No.
XP.
You can all have the
No,
participation
whatever.
XP.
I don't
I'm a-
need it.
I'm a nice
Yes.
boy.
Oh,
Love that.
Did you travel through one hex? You didn't. Did you discover a new adventure site? You didn't. Did you defeat one or more monsters? You had the opportunity to. You didn't. Did you find any
Ran away.
treasure? Artegan, you did. You stole some.
Lovely.
I got a box.
oh.
You were given that.
Damn.
Nothing built in a stronghold.
I
Anyone?
feel like Karkan's scrolls count as treasure.
I would have said that's a treasure as
Yeah.
well.
Karkan scrolls also given to you.
Mm.
We did find
So
a guy
I
who was
still
in
found
his
them.
own. We
Also,
found a guy who, in Cretice's eyes, is a
the
treasure.
exact thing is 1 gold or more. These scrolls are worth fucking nothing to most
Honestly,
people.
the friends I
Oh,
made
come
along
on,
the
they're
way is my
priceless
treasure.
to any Krilly. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what about the
not
treasure
any
of the...
insane, Krilly. Most of them are trash. I had
We are
said
talking about the
20%
Krilly.
of them are
who are-
fine. Did anyone activate their pride? No. Anyone suffer from their dark secret? Sam, you did.
I think I might have.
You might have done. Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I'll message you my dark secret, Ben, and you can tell me if I did or not.
Yes.
Would you
please
call
do.
it suffer? I changed my mind on whether to take the dagger or not.
You haven't directly suffered from it yet.
Yeah.
When you cut his fucking head off, you
Yeah.
will.
I feel like maybe
Very
everyone else has suffered from my dark secret, given that my dark secret led to me bringing the live man on board our skiff instead of just his skin, which would have been fairly easy for
Oh yeah,
to
sorry.
manage.
You have suffered, Artegan, that is correct. Strategic, you've also suffered as well, because
Okay.
you've
We
now
all
brought
suffered
a
from our dark
man.
secret.
So this is what
Yeah,
happens,
yeah.
guys, when you give into a mission. When a missionary comes to your door, this is what happens when you invite them inside.
You get XP. Did
Yeah.
anyone risk their life for another PC? I would argue that Hoddle risked his life by standing in front of the Hoddlebrooks when they're about to have that whole debate.
He didn't think about it.
Very important.
He
This is
does
very-
that.
He didn't just think about
Huddle
it.
doesn't think about anything.
Did anyone perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I'm going to say... I kind of want to give Jordan one for that clutch steal. I'm going to that's pretty
Okay,
extraordinary.
thank you.
Because you cast a bunch of magic to do it. And now you can't sleep because you're haunted by the death of your people. Right. That's all the
Strategic
XP.
threatened Claret. I mean, that's extraordinary.
Actually,
for
that was pretty
Strategic.
extraordinary for
Yeah,
Strategic.
that's true.
Have your XP for that, because Claret will just fucking kill
Yeah.
you.
But also, Cretice was the most animated they've ever been.
That's pretty.
They've
Yeah,
never
Yeah.
been this fine live.
you only get the 1 XP though, because it's only 1 bullet point. So
Does Nathan get an XP for saying "fuck elves"?
you know what? If it was
Look this.
if one of the lines was "amuse your GM," he would definitely get it because fuck elves. But no, unfortunately,
I know. I needed more for Ben to give me the XP. I would have had to go. Fuck those
Yeah.
pointy-eared fucks. That's what. That's the line.
That's what I want. That's what I want to hear next time. Well, the next episode is the Centurion Grove, so there's plenty of time to hell elves. So let's do outros from everyone. So we'll start with Nathan. Sir Nate, please give you a little outro, my guy.
I am Sir Nade. You can find me on the internet in multiple places, mostly in the comment section of Ben's TikToks.
You have actually finally commented on them.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Has he
I'm there.
finally commented? I need to go check again.
You found me there.
Because I checked last week when he was talking about commenting on the TikToks, and he hadn't actually commented on any TikToks.
Well, when I said people can find me in the comments, I didn't mean I'd commented. I mean I'm just always in the comments. I have a separate
That's
separate
really
monitor.
weird thing to say.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Everyone else uses social media,
Yeah.
and, all day, every day. I have a separate screen
just-
where I sit on Ben's TikTok in the comments and just watch in case someone wants to talk to me.
Awesome, cool. Well, message Nathan in my TikToks then. We will jump now over to Tempest
test
TT
that
Games.
theory.
Please give your outro.
Hi, I'm Morgan, aka Tempest. Pronouns are they and them. I am a games designer and streamer of live world building and RPG design and stuff and things on Twitch at Tempest TT Games. I am on Mondays currently. I am streaming an actual play of the solo TTRPG The Gardener is Dead. I'm 1 session in, not quite finished with the setup for it yet, so there's still lots of interesting story to be had for I don't know however many weeks it takes me to get through it. I'm expecting 3 or 4. Tomorrow night I should be starting, I hope, cross my fingers that I can actually, I've got mostly a plan for tomorrow, to start some GM prep for a Vampire the Masquerade game I have never played Vampire the Masquerade before. I've barely even scratched the surface of the book, so it would be very much an exploratory, trying to figure out how the fuck Vampire is played, and also setting up a. I haven't decided how many episodes yet. 13 or 26 is kind of what I have in mind. Just a game with what looks to be an even larger and larger group of players every time I check my Discord to see who's interested. I think we're at like 6 or 7 now, Ben. Ben's also going to be in the game. I've never DM'd for that many people. It's going to be insane. But I don't see why I should turn anyone away at this point. So yeah, that'll be fun. So look for me on Thursdays and Mondays, and I don't have anything for Saturdays. Saturdays is kind of my special events day for streaming. But if there's anything, you can check my Twitter. It'll be on the Twitter.
Awesome. We will jump down to Mr. Uninformed RPG. Please give your goodbyes and a shout out, sir.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Uninformed RPG. You can also find me on YouTube by searching Uninformed RPG. I don't yet have a fancy URL like Mr. Flickering Torch over here, but yeah, keep subscribing and eventually I'll get there. But yeah, go over there if you want to find some videos about tips and tricks for new players to TTRPGs and some new GMs advice maybe as well. I'm trying to get a video out about like tips for GMs just based on the one campaign I have GM'd, but I think it's coming along slowly but surely. It'll come out soon, I'm sure.
Awesome.
But yeah, like I say, check me out over on those two things and here, obviously. Because I'm always here. I've always been here and I always will be here.
That was ominous. And finally, Sam, please give your shout-outs to the people.
Yes, you can find me at ModKing09, Twitter especially. Microphone's been weird. But yeah, I'm a lot more active on Twitter. Keep an eye on there. There's going to be some game stuff going up and just random D&D stuff and me shouting about wanting to play Unicorn Warlock. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. So, thank you everyone for watching another wonderful episode of Variant Rules Sundered Realms. Thank you to all my players for playing along with me. You make my job really easy and fun to play all these silly characters in this fun world. We will catch you on next Wednesday, 7:30 GMT. We're back to, right? For the next episode, episode 8, we only have 3 more episodes to go, so the Centurion Grove is going to be our next kind of leap forward. If you guys are all fine, I'm going to skip the travel, just so we can get the plot.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as we assume that like Surtees has done like the puzzle box and like, you know, chatted up this Kirkan guy a million times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can spend an XP one as well.
Drop in some RP because I want to say something to Artegan on the trap.
Oh yeah,
we'll leave that to next week.
We'll do that next week. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. You're my favorite. Goodbye.
I'm the
Bye.
favorite.
Goodbye.
See you later, guys.
Time.